What's up everyone? I hope you've all had a great week. Today marks day 7 of the body recomposition, so I just thought I would do a check-in video for you all. What I have here is my notepad and my phone. I take both of which to the gym whenever I do my workouts. It's day 7, I've gone to the gym 4 times in that, so what I'm going to do is just overlay the footage from the gym whilst I'm speaking, just so you have something better to look at than my ugly mug here. Day 1, I measured myself, this is in kilograms, at 79.3. Straight onto the scales prior to eating anything or drinking anything. That will give you the best indication of how much weight you have gained or lost during that day. Your body weight can fluctuate due to many external and internal variables. So it's better, if you're going to do some sort of cutting protocol, is to look at the average of that week. So adding all the weight in one week and average that and see if it's better than the previous week, because it can fluctuate with water and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I segued. Day 1, 79.3. Day 2 was 79 flat. I don't have any excuse for that. It was kind of just probably working out what sort of stuff I had to eat. However, day 3 was 80, so that was a kilo gain in one day, which is why I've told you about the fluctuations, because obviously a kilogram in one day is quite a lot of weight to gain. Day 4, 80.7, so once again that was another 700 gram gain in one day. I'm just going to go through what the exercises were. It was leg press. I did a leg press instead of a squat on a hammer strength pin loaded machine instead of a 45-degree angle. A warm up of 25, I don't even know if it's kilograms, let's say 25 kilograms. All of these exercises did increase in strength. However, this is the first day, so I was trying, I guess, a couple more warm up sets to see how strong I could get, and all of these sets I was reaching 80% of my potential, not to failure. I haven't trained any exercise to failure throughout this whole week. Next was the hip hinge movement, which I chose a dumbbell stiff leg deadlift with just 14 kilograms in each hand, so not much at all. I remember I've been able to do that with 40 kilograms in each hand. And as I was doing these exercises, I noticed a few things. For doing the dumbbell stiff leg deadlift, if that focuses, you can see I've noted down, which you can't really read, I was just scribbling, weak lower back. And with the chemotherapy and the injections I had, which you may see in a previous episode, to stimulate white blood cell growth, a side effect of those is bone soreness and I guess bone strength loss. So when I was doing the dumbbell stiff legs, particularly in my lower back, it was rather, I'll say, brittle. Definitely noticing a lack of strength in the bone structure of my back. However, it was nothing painful at all. It was just something I could notice, and probably something that hindered my strength for that exercise also. Next was OHP, which was a barbell overhead press, which I simply did the bar because I couldn't actually do any more than the bar. I honestly thought I would be much stronger for OHP, but I only did the 20 kilo barbell for all sets of 15. One thing I noticed as well when I was doing my warming up, I did about 20 minutes of dynamic stretches and mobility stuff, particularly on my back and my lower body. I noticed that I've got a very tight left hip abductor, which I've had for quite a while. I think it's probably because I'm right-footed. But it was super tight, like when I was doing a hip abductor stretch, it would barely move to half of what my right hand side could do. This is not including the weight of the actual machine. So I believe like the actual pulley thing's like 4 kilograms, so I'm not really counting that. So 20 kilograms for set 1 and 2, and then 22.5 on set 3. So as you can see, by like the third set, I could kind of be like, yeah, it's not heavy enough, so I chuck an extra 2.5 plate on there. Next was incline barbell press. I have alternated between incline and flat, so I did incline first, warmed up with a 20 kilo bar. First set was 40 kilograms, did feel heavy for myself. And I was able to push out 15 reps without reaching failure, probably roughly around that 80% mark, as I said before. Moving on to close grip pull downs, which was a warm up of 13, then it was 16.5 for the next 3 sets. Push down, which was triceps, warm up on 10 kilos, all 3 sets were 15 kilos for 15 reps. Then bicep curls was a 10 kilogram warm up, 12 kilogram first set, 15 for the second and third. That was all of day 1. I didn't experience massive DOMs, particularly because I wasn't going to failure. Since I've done a whole week of full body workouts, I'm now going to move into 5 workouts a week and just go upper, lower, upper, lower, upper. I'm pretty satisfied with 2.5 kilo gain. I think it's going to probably go a bit faster now since I'm going to move into upper lower, because it's going to be a different kind of frequency, and I'll also be able to up the intensity. But things like my delts and my back thickness are things I do need to bring up more. In regards to my legs were the things that atrophied the most. In hospital, obviously there's no muscles being worked when I was going through chemotherapy. However, when you're being unwell, the legs are not being used at all because I'll simply be lying in bed. So my legs experience the most amount of atrophy, but I also believe right now they're probably the things that have actually improved the most over the last week. Obviously 2.5 kilograms isn't an insane amount of muscle gain, but for the first 2 or 3 days where I gained 1.5 kilos, I could kind of see my body growing each day. Even though it's quite physiologically impossible for someone to do this unless they're only just new to training or have only just returned to training. However, I am one of those. I've just returned to training. I feel I have increased my body weight, however I have decreased my body fat. I'm going to bring up another video like this next week, and then once again on the final week to compare the 3 weeks progress, at which my goal was to gain 5 kilograms in total. I've already reached half of that, so I think at this rate hopefully I can say 2.5 times 3 weeks is 7.5, so hopefully I can get up to a 7.5 gain in this 3-week period. It sounds insane, but it really is going to improve my well-being during my bone marrow transplant, and in doing that it's probably going to increase my better my prognosis in how I'm going to react to chemotherapy and stuff, in regards to when I stop eating, when I lose my appetite and all that. This episode is obviously quite a lot of information to digest as well, but I am going to keep this stuff up online for my own reference so I can come back to this sort of stuff. And also for anyone who's interested in the journey and just wants to follow along and just show some love and encourage each other. But for now, once again, thanks so much for watching. I will check in with you some point soon. If it isn't between this week and next week, I'll see you next week. And I just want to say thank you so much for all the support you give me here on YouTube, here on Instagram, Facebook and everything like that. It really does mean quite a lot to me when I see people sharing their own stories with me and telling me how much the things I post can be motivational and inspirational to them. It kind of gives me the inspiration to keep doing this sort of stuff. Let's all keep up the positive mindset and let's all keep encouraging each other. I will see you in the next episode, and for now, just enjoy the remaining posing. Have a good day.